guys, welcome back to Don't Be Weak Science. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys or showing you guys how to do the different types of Punnett squares and also how to read a pedigree chart. Okay, so let's start with a couple examples. Okay, so we're going to start with a normal Punnett square or with autosomal chromosomes. So the big R allele is for red beetle color, little r allele is for blue beetle color. Cross a heterozygous red beetle with a homozygous blue beetle. Show the genotypic and phenotypic ratios. Okay, so first we want to start off with the, let's define a couple things. So right here, heterozygous, what that means is two different alleles for beetle color. It looks like big R is for red, little r is for blue. Since this is a normal Punnett square, this means that this red beetle has a genotype or has alleles, what do you call it? Big R and little r. Okay, big R is dominant over little r, so that's why this beetle, even though it has alleles big R, little r, it'll still have a red beetle color shell. Okay, and then homozygous right here. This means to have two of the same alleles. Okay, so in this case, since they're blue in color, has to have little r. So little r and little r. Okay, and then we're going to draw our Punnett square since we're crossing these two individuals. Okay, so this big R and this little r combine. That. And remember that this big R right here at the top and the little r on the right next to it, they represent actual like gametes. Okay, and also the two little r's on the left side of the Punnett square, they're also gametes. So the big R in a gamete combines with a little r on the left side right here, gamete, and they fuse into an embryo that has alleles, big R, little r right there. Okay. So let's complete the rest of this Punnett square. Okay, so the genotypic ratios. Okay, so we just basically look at what's in the Punnett square boxes. So there are two big R, little r's, and there are two little r, little r. Okay, genotype, we're referring to like the alleles inside the Punnett square. Okay, phenotype or refers to the traits. So the phenotypic ratio, let me just erase that because it's a little messy. Two of those boxes, two of the four boxes inside the Punnett square are going to be red, and then two are going to be blue. Okay, so basically this Punnett square shows that if this individual right here with that genotype and this individual were to have little baby beetles, there is a 50% chance, or 2 out of 4 chance, according to the Punnett square, of having baby beetles that have a red beetle color, and there's a 50% chance, according to this Punnett square, because there's two little r boxes, of having a baby beetle with a blue shell. Okay. So let's move on to the next problem. It says Mark's disease is a recessive disease characterized by the urge to build wooden towers and is represented by the little m allele. The big M allele is normal. Cross a heterozygous male and a heterozygous female. What are chances of the couple having children with Mark's disease? Okay, so first let's identify the male and the female. Okay, so they're both heterozygous. That means they have two different traits. So let's just put the male on the top side of the Punnett square for now. So if he's heterozygous, then he's big M, little m, right? And then the female on the left side, so she is big M and little m. Okay, so we draw the Punnett square, and we get big M, big M, and little m, big M, little m, m, little m. Okay. So what are the chances of the couple having children with Mark's disease? Okay, so in order to have Mark's disease, since it's a recessive disease, that means they have to have the allele m and little m. Okay, there cannot be a big M, because if a person were to have even one big M is dominant over little m, so that wouldn't work. Okay, so if you look at the Punnett square boxes right here, only this one is little m, so that means 1 out of 4, or 25% chance of having children with Mark's disease. Okay, so that's how to solve just like some basic Punnett square problems. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. All right, so for this part right here, you guys are going to try this on your own. Okay, so there's actually 2 questions, but let's do the first one, and then I want you guys to pause, and then pause the video and do number 3. Okay, and then when you play it again, then like I'll start solving it. Okay, so go ahead and pause. Okay, now I am going to solve this problem. Okay, so big R alleles for red beetle color, little r is for blue beetle color. Show how it is possible for 2 red beetles to have a blue beetle offspring. What are the chances of having a blue beetle offspring? Okay, so since big R is for red, little r is for blue, it is possible. So for red beetle color, right? So red beetle color, right? There's 2 possible genotypes that could create red beetle color. So there's big R, and there's also big R, little r. Okay, because big R is dominant over little r. This genotype would also create a red beetle color. Okay, so if we do the Punnett square, right? So here we have to kind of like think about this a little bit. Is it possible for 2 red beetles to have a blue beetle offspring? Okay, so if we go through the possibilities, let's say that the individuals are big R, right? And we do the Punnett square. We find out that none of these are little r inside the Punnett square. Okay, in order to have a blue beetle, you could only have the only possible genotype is little r. Okay, so this would not work. Okay, what if one of the parents is big R, little r, and the other one is big R, Okay, so if you do the Punnett square, then there are no little r's inside the Punnett square, so that would not work either. Okay, okay. So this would not work either. Okay, so the other possibility would be, what if both parents are big R, little r's? Okay, Would this work? The answer is yes, it would work. And there's a 25% chance of this happening if both red beetle color parents have genotypes big R little r.